Hey, welcome back. We're in this wild ride, this dramatic story of Esther. And I really want to invite you, even now, ask the Spirit of God today, God, help me to truly believe that there's a plot twist coming for me. Or if what grieves you is the world or culture or wars, God, help me to truly believe there's a plot twist coming. Good will prevail. I love that line of the old Christmas song, the wrong will fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. Do you know that that hymn, Christmas Carol, was written at the end of the Civil War by a Christian pastor who had lost his son in the Civil War, fighting for the Union, for the freedom of African Americans to be freed from slavery. And he says there will be times when it looks like the right is going to fail and the wrong prevail, but there will always be a plot twist. And that's exactly what we've learned here in Esther. And the plot twist in Esther, it just keeps stair-stepping up. I mean, there was all this poetic justice that Haman wanted all this glory for himself. The glory ends up going to Mordecai. Haman builds this death device for Mordecai, and the king actually ends up putting Haman on the death device. You might think the story ends there, but the poetic justice continues. And may that theme encourage you today. In physics, there's this term, it's one of the laws of thermodynamics. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Things balance out in the universe. And so the more evil we see, the more good we will see in the end when things balance out. When Jesus is revealed as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and he makes everything right, I am telling you guys, there's not going to be any imbalance. Where we long for justice, where we long for what is right to be done, we will look at what he does, and we will be like, yes, that is what was right. And we will get to be on his team if we have simply humbled ourselves before him and made him the Lord of our lives. Now, here in chapter 8, verse 1, the justice continues on the same day. So all this happens in 24 hours. Talk about how quickly your story can change. On the same day, King Xerxes gave the property of Haman. So remember, Haman's the villain. He's probably the wealthiest person in Persia next to the king. He gives all that property to Queen Esther. And then Mordecai gets brought in before the king. Here's the guy who saved your life a few years ago. And Esther tells the king, hey, that guy who saved your life, that's my adopted dad. When my parents died and I was an orphan, he took me in. And the king is just like, what a noble, great guy. And I know he saved my life. And I trust you, Esther, and I trust him. Verse 2, the king takes the signet ring. This is the power of the kingdom, which had been taken back from Haman, and he gives it to Mordecai. So now Mordecai has the position of power that Haman had. And I'm telling you guys, God can do that in governments, and he will do that in eternity. And Esther appointed Mordecai to be in charge of Haman's property. So that night, or pretty soon thereafter, Mordecai's going to be sleeping in what was Haman's house, and all of that wealth will be his. Did you know that Jesus in the Gospels, he talks about in kingdom come that you and I, we will rule and reign with him. You don't hear this taught a lot, and we got to be careful because people can twist it and manipulate it. But Jesus does say, if you're faithful with little in your time on earth, I will entrust much to you in my future kingdom. So make no mistake, heaven's not going to be us floating around as boring, bodiless orbs. We'll have new glorified bodies. There will be a new heaven and a new earth without the fall. So think of the most beautiful things you see on earth, they'll be even better. And we will rule and reign. There will be real estate. There will be territories of the kingdom. And the more faithful you are here, the more he will entrust to you there. Now, it's going to be perfect for everyone. It's going to be a feast for everyone. But here's what I'll tell you. You will not regret any sacrifice you make for the kingdom here, even when you living for Jesus means that you face opposition like Mordecai did. The very forces that come against you and that strip away wealth from God's people will be turned around, and those who've suffered for Christ will be honored and will have eternal wealth. It's mind blowing stuff. I'll see you tomorrow.